Hi, I'm Brian, here to present Karador Ghost Chieftain deck. Alright, so this is Karador Ghost Chieftain. He is one of the new Wedge Generals from the Commander set. He is 8 for a 3/4, and he costs 1 less to cast for each creature card in your graveyard. And then during each one of your turns, you may cast 1 creature card from your graveyard. I wanted to build a deck around him because I really love graveyard shenanigans, and I wanted a deck that obviously could focus on creatures. And so I ended up going with Slivers because what better group of creatures to have a ton of. So. First lined up is Cabal Coffers. Even though it's a 3-color deck, you pair it with Overgrown Tomb of Yawgmoth, and it makes a ton of mana, which is always great. Gaia's Cradle, again, since this is a creature-heavy deck, the ability to pump out lots of mana with this thing's ability is fantastic. Overgrown Tomb, Temple Garden, and Godless Shrine, your shock lands. Scrubland, Savannah, and Bayou, the original duels. Selesnya Sanctuary and Orzhov Basilica. Volrath Stronghold, another great graveyard recursion land. Command Tower, brand spanking new out of the Commander set. Great for making mana of any color you need. Murmuring Bosk, it's a forest and it's all the mana that we need, so it's tutorable and it's a 3-color land. Strip Mine to get rid of problem lands. Reliquary Tower to make sure my hand can never be too big. Krosan Verge is great mana ramp and it can fetch Murmuring Bosk. Horizon Canopy is great. It ensures that you don't get mana flooded too bad because you can always just sacrifice this guy to draw a card. Mosswort Bridge, this is my favorite Primeval Titan target, because you already have 6 power on the board once that resolves, and then you're almost all the way towards getting whatever card you hide away. Sunpetal Grove for mana fixing, Verdant Catacombs, Bojuka Bog, and Mistveil Plains, great for more graveyard recursion. And so we have the basic lands, forests, all Zendikar full art, of course, plains, swamp. Alright, so slivers. First group, Sinew Sliver. All of my slivers get +1/+1. Obviously pumping slivers is awesome. Fungus Sliver makes them bigger every time they take damage. Can't argue with that. Might Sliver, make them bigger. Victual Sliver. Sometimes you want to sacrifice your slivers to get them off the board or to prevent them from being taken over by an opponent, so this is a great way to do that, and it gives you life as a bonus. Root Sliver is great against counterspell decks. Pulmonic Sliver makes Wrath of God slightly less scary. Spitting Sliver, giving your creatures first strike is fantastic. It goes really well with Toxin Sliver, which is also in the deck to give all your creatures Glissa Trader ability. Brood Sliver, make more slivers. Quick Sliver, playing your slivers with flash is always fun. Harmonic Sliver, given the abundance of enchantments and artifacts in Commander, this guy pulls his load, definitely. Clot Sliver, regenerating your slivers is fantastic, especially with all the board wipe that they're printing nowadays, not having a can't be regenerated clause. This guy really is awesome. Toxin Sliver, with the aforementioned Spitting Sliver, he's great because all your creatures with first strike and death touch is awesome. Essence Sliver to gain some life. Basal Sliver, another sacrifice outlet, produces some mana to boot. Horn Sliver gives all your slivers trample, so when they get big, they can swarm right over blockers, particularly against token decks. Mindwhip Sliver, particularly fun with Brood Sliver, get a lot of slivers and start making your opponents discard their hands. Gemhide Sliver is great mana acceleration, great mana fixing, particularly once you start dropping a bunch of other slivers on the board. Crypt Sliver, yet another regeneration, makes Wrath of God, and, well, not Wrath of God, but Day of Judgment effects much less scary. Reflex Sliver, slivers with haste are awesome. Virulent Sliver, this functions to cut the damage you need to do to your opponent down by 1/4, and so dealing 10 damage instead of 40 is awesome. Muscle Sliver makes your guys bigger. Necrotic Sliver turns all your slivers into Vindicates, which is the best thing ever. Darkheart Sliver, another sack outlet, more life gain. Ward Sliver gives you protection. This is really great against all the monocolored decks in our playgroup. Dauntless Escort, we start getting out of the slivers now into the more utility creatures. Dauntless Escort obviously saves your slivers from Wrath of God effects. Primeval Titan, typically when played I'll get Urborg and Cabal Coffers with this. If I already have them, Gaia's Cradle and Mosswort Bridge are also great targets. Oracle of Moldaya, some of the best mana ramp available in creature form. Elish Norn makes all my slivers really, really big and makes all of the opponent's creatures really, really small. Genesis gets back slivers from the graveyard. Current Guide does the same thing. So does Eternal Witness. Shield of the Whispering One kills your creatures while I keep getting mine back, which is really useful when you have some of the slivers that allow you to sacrifice them to dump them into the graveyard. Most of the slivers have power 2 or less, and so it's very, very convenient to get them back with Revel Arc. Convenient 2 for 1. Soul Ring, old school, very cool. Every deck needs ramp even when your slivers are cheap. Mana Reflection, doubles mana. Cultivate. Lurking Predators, since this deck runs so many creatures, it very rarely misses. Green Sun Zenith, when you just need that one particular sliver to have the utility you need, this will do it for you. Wild Pair functions absolutely stupidly in this deck. Play sliver, get another sliver. Survival of the Fittest, again, get the sliver or other utility creature that you need right now. Tooth and Nail, same idea. Word of Calling, and Levemarie's Call, all get creatures. Primal Command, one of my favorite cards in EDH. It has so many uses between the life gain and the ability to get rid of problem permanents or tutor for creatures or shuffle somebody's graveyard back in their library. Amazing card. Sensei's Divining Top, because every EDH deck needs one. Skull Clamp, especially if you're making a ton of sliver tokens, you can just start clamping them up and drawing a bunch of cards. Momentous Fall, I've been a bit unsure of in the deck because with the slivers being as small as they generally are, there's not as much utility with them as with a typical green deck, so I'm not sure if this is going to stay or leave, but it's good for sacrificing things like Primeval Titan too. Friction Arena, more card draw, greater good. Same thing as Momentous Fall, I'm not sure if I like it yet, more testing to be determined. Ephemeral Dredging, if I can get 3 slivers back from my graveyard with 1 spell, why not? Crucible of Worlds, that's there to protect my utility lands like the Gaia's Cradle and the Cabal Coffers, which tend to get destroyed very quickly, so you drop this, replay them. Oversold Cemetery, get my slivers back from the graveyard. Very shiny foil Noxious Revival, one of the awesome things that I opened in my new Phyrexia box. Again, get back whatever random utility I need to get back. Living Death, when all my slivers are in my graveyard and all your creatures are on the board, this is a beating. Reanimate gets back slivers, which are cheap, which counteracts the life lost, but it also has the ability to go into other people's graveyards, so you can, of course, get other people's fun creatures like their Primeval Titans. Beast Within removes any problem permanent on the battlefield for the mere cost of them getting a 3/3 Beast token. I'll take that trade any day. Putrefy destroys artifacts and creatures. Mortify destroys enchantments and creatures. Maelstrom Pulse destroys anything not named a land. True Conviction, I was looking through my deck trying to fill out some of the utility slots, and True Conviction stuck out. I'm going to be dumping a bunch of creatures, so why not make them double striking lifelinking creatures? Vidalcan Orrery, one of the really awesome, powerful things you can be doing in EDH is playing things at instant speed. So, Mimic Vat, this goes very well with both the sacrifice triggers on the slivers and some of the other creature removal in this deck. You drop this, start killing the creatures, start taking them for yourself. One of the better EDH cards to come out of Scars. And finally, Ether Vial, set this guy to 2 or 3 and just start pumping out the slivers. Thanks for watching CMDR decks. Please subscribe and favorite.